guys, this is Ria Mukherjee from Messy Cooking Always Vegan. So first of all, I just want to say that my eyes are going to keep darting here because I have some notes so I can say things properly. So anyway, I'm here today to have a quick chat about why I'm vegan, and I hope that I can provide a little bit of balance and nuance here without any of the perceived vegan judgment. So first of all, I'll start with what veganism means. And so veganism is basically an ethical choice people make to give up all animal products. So the way it's different from being a vegetarian, or like in India where I am, it's very common to see a lacto-vegetarian, is that vegans also additionally to not consuming meat and eggs and seafood, is that we also don't eat milk, don't consume milk or milk products. We don't use leather, and we try not to use cosmetics or hygiene products that have been tested on animals. So anyway, the spectrum of veganism, if you ask me, can be very it's pretty flexible. I've seen people approach it in many different ways. But most vegans believe that humans have no business taking anything from animals or using any kind of product from them. But I am not really vegan for that reason. I actually believe that the world is symbiotic and there is a place for an animal-human relationship. But we've totally lost that now. We're living in a world where we are demanding so much from the meat and dairy industry that the conditions we keep our animals are increasingly horrific. The dairy industry, which might be surprising to a lot of Indians, is actually ridiculously cruel. And if you really want to get into the very graphic details about how the industry works and how these animals are actually kept, then there are a whole host of documentaries that you can watch. I would recommend Earthlings, which is on YouTube. So my point is simple, or at least I think so, right? I don't think that everyone is going to become vegan overnight, and that might not even be the answer. There are way too many social, cultural, and economical constraints for the world to change the way we treat our animals right now. Vegans, or many vegans actually, try a very evangelical approach, by trying to educate or showing very graphic details about what's happening, and then they expect people for their compassion to come through, and then for them to change because we've given you the facts. But I don't think the world works that way. If you ask me, there are very complex reasons as to why this method will not work at scale. In this era, I don't think we can have an all or nothing approach. Either you're vegan or you're like an apathetic, hateful hypocrite. That approach is definitely not going to work, and it's going to tear apart our divide even more. So let's think about it. Today you can get skim milk, 100 types of cheeses, a package of only chicken breast or only pork belly. And you know what that means, right? That means that the industry has to cater to these new demands, and they're breeding animals in bulk, specifically for these animals to wait out their entire lives before being butchered in horrific conditions. So if we're objectifying animals this way, if we are using life solely for our own needs without any real give back, then is it hard to imagine why this intersects with a lot of other human behaviors like patriarchy and class wars and genocide and racism and sexual assault? The way we treat our environment today and the other life forms that come with it is very indicative of what we humans are capable of when we think we have all the power. So that is why I'm vegan. So my blog is all about showing you how much you can do on a vegan diet. So this is not about saying you have to go vegan because I gave you all these facts. What's more relevant is to stop and think about how our everyday choices affects the whole world. And that goes for all the vegans out there too, because I don't think we're a top shelf people just because, you're vegan. Everything we do today somehow participates in some hate or apathy. And if we balance that out with just a little bit more thought, with a little bit more consciousness of what we eat, what we wear, what we buy, then we're well on our way. For some, that means going vegan. For others, it means reducing your consumption, taking your time out to make smaller habit changes, or even just educating yourself more about things that emotionally or politically impact or affect you. So I hope you enjoyed this and this made some sense to you. I thought I should at least talk about this since I run a vegan blog. So I look forward for you to visit my latest adventures in the kitchen on messycookingalwaysvegan.blogspot.in. Thanks for listening.